Hey, besties. Just having my cup of tea with dainty Miss Lola. Oh, shaking the camera. I apologize. It's a coldish day, but not freezing. It's not freezing, busters. Check this out. Yeah, don't know how much of that you caught, but yeah, I'm just having my cup of tea with my puppy. Could I do anything without shaking? It would be a magical surprise. I do have my camera stand, but I thought I'll put it on the window ledge, but then I realized the window ledge behind me is quite slanted. What do you want, turkey? Wait, look at the little turkey. Isn't she gorgeous? Are you gorgeous? She wants pats, but I've got a cup of tea in one hand and I've got the phone in the other hand. I've neglected Lola. I'm sorry, Bobcat. Don't you jump on me. No! Oh my god. Oh, she's monstrous. Get off my guts. Give me a kiss. Okay, get down. Get down now. Oh, I hope you saw that. She's like a maniac. Camera's a bit too close to me. Excuse me, ladies, but I'm not wearing any makeup, so don't get too close. She's toddling off. Where you going, Lola? Rude. Oh, there she's peeking around the corner. Look at her. Lola? What? I can see you. What are you doing? She wants to go inside. You know, she's very pampered, so because the grass is really wet and it's a bit cold, she's like, oh, let me in the house. Meow. Mm. Oh. What are you doing over there, you little turkey? Lola. She's just staring at me. She wants to. You want to go walkies, don't you? Can't go walkies now. No. Later, if you're lucky. If you're a lucky ducky. Mm. Oh, hell yeah. This is a great cup of tea. Literally nothing is happening. We're just looking at Lola and drinking tea. Oh, damn, that's good. I've got this inclination, like, I'm not going to do it because I need to save money. But if I could do anything today, like in the local area, I would grab a maxi taxi down to IKEA at Daisy Hill, Loganholme area in Queensland. I have not been to IKEA for like at least a year, maybe 2 years. Oh my god, I love IKEA. Like, it's such an accessible store, and there's just so much stuff. Like, you could just spend all day in there and you wouldn't have to spend a lot of money. Like, the items are quite affordable usually. And you know, it's one of those stores where they've got so much stuff that you didn't know that you wish you had. Yeah. And some of the snacks are good. Coffee, The coffee's not too bad, although I've given up coffee recently. I've started to drink just tea. But yeah, I really miss going to IKEA. I really enjoyed, especially when before my snack accident, I used to decorate my house and buy new furniture and that kind of stuff. I'd go bargain hunting at IKEA, to save money, because you could get items that were like so low cost but looked just as good as the expensive stores. But the fun part was not building the items. Like if you bought a table or a chair or a desk or something, like you spend 6 weeks trying to build it. Eventually, I would just get my children to build the items that I bought. They got so good at building IKEA furniture. It was just crazy. It's like having a giant Lego set. You buy a desk and it's got like 2,436 pieces. What do kids need toys for when they've got IKEA to build? Oh, this is hurting my hand. Don't drop it. Oh, I got it. Like, I really wanted to go out of the house today. I really wanted to go out. But yeah, I just don't want to spend any money. So I thought, I'll go in my yard. I'll drink some tea. Are you thrilled by my grubby looking cup? Needs a good scrub. It's tea stained. Yeah, where else would I go in the local area? Oh, I haven't been to Costco before. I've always wanted to go there. But again, that's to like buy a whole bunch of stuff. I've just got the shopping itch. I'm not going to go shopping though. I'm not. But I can imagine. What are you doing, cheeky chops? I've got to show you. I apologize for the shaky camera, but I've got to show you Lola. Lola, are you looking gorgeous? Did I even get her on camera? I don't know until I watch after. That's the annoying part. I should probably buy some food today. Might send my daughter to the shops to get something. I've just got cereal left in the house, which is fine, but yeah, might need something else, maybe. I've had this massive hankering for tacos with sour cream. Somebody kept mentioning it in the comments, and I was just like, yes, tacos. And now I just can't get it out of my mind. Tacos with dollops of sour cream. Oh, hell yes. Lola, is that you banging on the fence? Knock it off. Come here. Come here. Part of the fence has actually fallen off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get that repaired. Oh, how annoying. Won't cost any money, of course. Just hammer it all back on, drill it in. When we first moved into this place, there were so many trees and bushes and plants and stuff, which sounds lovely, but we actually had a problem with snakes. So ground snakes, but also snakes that hang off the trees. And the ones that hang off the trees, and also that part of the house up there, they were not venomous, but they were like tropical snakes, so they're really brightly colored. And I didn't know that they were not venomous when we first moved in. I was like, oh damn, like the house is like covered in snakes. Like, they drop, you'd sit under the eaves here like this, and a snake would drop down on your head. I'm not joking. There were that many snakes in the trees, on the roof, in the gutters. This is subtropical Queensland, by the way. You know, the kids would be jumping on the trampoline and a snake would drop out of a tree and land on the trampoline. It was pretty extreme. But yeah, the ones we had were not venomous, so that was pretty lucky. Yeah, the locals knew that, but we didn't know that when we first moved in. It was a bit of a shocker. Of course, I've handled snakes when I was a kid. But they were venomous snakes, but that was in South Australia, so yeah. A lot of the plants and stuff had to be cleared out. And there were like spiders as big as my face. I shit you not, mate. It was extreme. Like, the garden was gorgeous, but it was just like a house for like Jumanji style wild animals. It was crazy. And a lot of the plants were also toxic to dogs, so we ripped them out. So yeah, once we got rid of all the dangers and the trees that were dropping limbs and that kind of thing, there really wasn't much of a garden left, which visually is very disappointing. But yeah, having dogs, you can't really have those kind of plants in your yard where they can access them, and it makes them sick. And or having kids and trees are dropping limbs on them, and like, you just have to take care of business, you know. But yeah, it was like this lush forest with vines and ferns and all these weird looking plants. It was fantastic when we moved in. I'm kind of sad that we don't have all that, but in a way, it was a necessity because, yeah, the dangers. Yeah. I'm sure the person that lived here before me must have been a witch, because there were so many plants that people use in magic and for protection of houses and stuff. Like, they were everywhere, and creeping vines and things like this. And the garden, it was just so beautiful. And even though I've like ripped most of it out for safety reasons, every now and again, like literally overnight, there'll be no vine, and then all of a sudden this vine would have like covered an entire side of the house. And I think, that's not normal. You know, it's a bit enchanted, a bit like an enchanted pop-up foresty garden sometimes. And it's like, oh, I'm not allowed to leave that vine there because, you know, people that own the house say you can't have it on there and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, so you got to rip that off and off the wall, and then it'll grow on the fence, and it won't be like weeks of growth. It'll just pop up like overnight, 1 or 2 days at the most. And it's like, how's that possible? All I can think is it must be like magic. It's not natural. It's not. There's no way. Magical. What else? Oh yeah. And when we moved in, there were like these little, you know, the part where you close the door, like your bedroom door, and the door then goes flush with the wall. Well, when you look to the side of where it like goes into, on each doorway, like, had like hollowed out sections. I thought it was really odd. Anyway, a couple of times I like stuck a pair of tweezers or mini tongs in there and pulled out some stuff, and there's like all these little items like in the wall. Anyway, I researched it, and yeah, it's like a witchy thing. So I just put it all back in because I thought, I don't want to, I don't know what it's there for. Like, I don't want to disturb anything, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, whatever I took out, I put back in, and I was like, okay, don't know what that's about. If you do, let me know, because you know, there was like bits of paper with writing on it. There was like little toy items, like a little baby shoe, things like this within the wall cavity pushed through the door part. Does it make sense? And it was each room. And my house is quite haunted, so did I do the right thing putting it all back in? I don't know. I just thought I didn't put it there and I don't want to disturb anything. I don't know. Tell me if you know. If you know this information, if you know this witchy stuff, tell me, because like it didn't freak me out, but I was like, oh, do I really want to know? Probably not. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the creepy stuff in the house. Like, is it creepy in the house because of that? Or is it less creepy because that's there? Like, I thought I just don't want to disturb anything, you know. Yeah. Oh, those birds are beautiful. Don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Like colourful cockatiels. Have some really bright birds in Queensland. Oh gosh. When we first moved in, I got someone to investigate the roof cavity, like the attic, I guess you would call it. And because I thought, oh, I feel like there's like something scratching up there, you know, like scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching. And I asked the neighbors, and they were like, oh, yeah, you might have a possum or some bats, you know, something like that. And they're like, oh, they can chew through the electrics or rats or whatever, so get onto it. So I got the electrical technician to come over and check the electrics in the attic. And he's like, there's no animals up here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, there's not even animal poo. Like, there's not even droppings from animals. And he goes, and usually it's quite usual to get animal droppings. It's kind of unusual not to. I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, everything looks like it's sealed up properly. Everything looks like there's no animals that have got in. There's no animal droppings. There's no chewing of the electrics, nothing. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't understand what that scratching sound is. And he just kind of looks at me like, he's like, well, I can guarantee you there's no animals up there scratching. None. Zero. And he's like, I've been in this 20 years. There's no animals up there. I'm like, okay. I'm just hearing weird noises. And he's like, what? Like, what's? I'm like, scratching. Like, scratching, hard scratching and scuttling, you know? Like, he's like, no, I don't understand. Like, there's nothing up there. I'm like, okay. Anyway, not long after that, we start having trouble with the electricity. And, like lights blowing, flashing, sparking, some like really weird stuff happening in the house. So I call up again and the electric guy comes out, but this time it's a different one. And he checks all the electrics in the house, like in the inside of the house. He checks like the safety things on the outside of the house. And he goes, look, it has to be rats or possums. Do you want me to go up in the roof and just have a look? And we'll only charge you for that part if we have to do something. I'm like, that would be really great. Thank you. I didn't tell him anything that the other guy said, because he's like, it has to be this and it has to be. So I thought I'll let him look, and maybe the other guy just didn't look properly. Anyway, so he goes up there. And he's up there for like, I'm not joking, like the first guy must have been up there for 10 minutes. This guy was up in the attic for maybe 40 minutes. It seemed like a very long time. And he comes down and he kind of looks like a bit weirded out. And I'm like, oh, you found some possums up there, or is it rats? And he goes, can I sit down somewhere? And I'm like, sure. And he sits down, there's a chair outside, and he goes, do you believe in ghosts? And I'm like, sorry? And he's like, I didn't enjoy the experience I had up there by myself. And he goes, do you mind if I call a friend who's also in the business to just come and double check everything up there? You know, you're not going out today, you're going to be able to, is that cool if I just, and I'll go, oh, how much is that going to cost? Like, I don't have a lot of money. And he's like, no, just, we're going to cap it where it was. And yeah, my mate will be here in 10 minutes. I'm like, cool, no problem. So then him and his mate go up there. And I'm not joking. I can hear them, like I'm sitting in my lounge room. I can hear them talking because they're above in the attic. And they're talking to each other. And they're like calling out. And then they're quiet. And then they're calling out. And then they're quiet. And they're kind of like, then all of a sudden, like, how do I describe this? There's like funny sounds coming from the attic, and I just presume it's them. And they're like up there for like an hour and a half. And I remember thinking, this is weird. Like, this is weird. Anyway, when they come down, they're just kind of like looking at each other, and then they're kind of like looking at me, and I'm like, so, what's happening? And they're like, there's no animals up there. There's no droppings from animals up there. There's no chewing of the wires from animals. There's nothing. It's clean. It's dry. There's no debris. Everything's functioning properly. There's nothing up there. And I don't say anything. I just kind of look at him like. And then the friend that he brought, the other guy, he said something to me like, there's something up there, but it's not something that we can help you with. And I'm like, so it's not an animal? And he's like, no. And he's like, but we saw something up there. And I never want to see it again. And I'm like, okay. And no joke, they both just looked so freaked out, like, not like scared, but just kind of like, what the hell did we come to work to see today? You know? And then the original guy was just kind of like, yeah, like what I said before. And I'm like, what, ghosts? And he's like, yeah, that kind of thing. And I'm like, right. And I'm like, what did you see? And he's like, I can't help you today, and I'm really sorry, and I need to go home now. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, thanks for letting us look at it and check it out. It was an experience. And he's like, but now I have to go home. I'm like, okay. I'm like, did you close the manhole to the attic? He's like, oh shit, no. And I'm like, you don't expect me to close it to you. And his friend goes back there and he follows him so then they're not alone. And he closes the manhole to the attic. I was just like, yeah, okay. And after that, yeah, things just got weirder after that. It's like scratching changed to like growling sounds, changed to like stomping sounds. Like Yeah, I don't know. It's something happened in this house, and I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something here in this house. And I have caught certain things on camera before, and a lot of people say to me, "Oh, you should share it. You should put it on social media." But honestly, the feeling I get from any photos or footage that I capture of this thing does not give me a pleasant feeling, and I don't feel comfortable sharing it. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like it could be bad to share it. I've shown a couple of people, like, that have been close to me because, they've also experienced or witnessed things in my house before. And so they know that I'm not just making it up. But, like, I know if you put stuff like this on the internet, people will be like, oh, that's not real. Or other people might even be affected in a bad way. Like, it's such a bad energy. So, yeah, I try to avoid kind of like thinking about it too much because I've got to live here right now and I've lived here for a long time. But yeah, so maybe another day I'll tell another story about some stuff that happened, but I think that's probably enough for today. Just been like rambling on. Pardon me. I've got burpees. But yeah, visitors to the house and also my pets and anyone that's lived here has experienced different things within the house from whatever's in here. It's very real. Yeah. Um, yeah, sometimes I think, oh God, I I don't feel comfortable being in certain rooms at certain times or home alone. Um, there's a real menacing feeling, and yeah, some of the things that I've witnessed that have actually physically have happened in the house are just unexplainable logically, scientifically. If you don't believe in this kind of thing, it's just unreal, absolutely unreal. um, it's not the first haunted house that I've lived in. And I say haunted, but I don't necessarily mean ghost. There are other things. We won't name those things, but everybody has different beliefs about these things, and um, yeah, some strange experiences in this house, and like I said, other houses before. Um, yeah, I might tell another story about one of those incidences another time. Maybe it depends how comfortable I am to talk about it. It's like pretty intense. And of course, everyone's gonna, there's always a percentage of people out there that'll go, that's so fake, shut up. But, you experience that kind of thing even once, let alone on a regular basis, and you won't be laughing. So, no. Anyway, that was a lovely cup of tea, and dainty little Lola is in the sun. Isn't she gorgeous? So I'm gonna go inside now because my leg is hurting. And I wish I was at IKEA shopping today, but I'm on a bougie budget. I might grab something from Coles or Woolies instead. You know, some cheap thing to eat. Not sure what it'll be. Something small. Whew, I'm in the mood for a horror film. And as usual, I've had a few suggestions from people, and if you have any suggestions for horror films that you think I should watch, let me know because I absolutely love horror films. Currently, I am subscribed to Amazon Prime Video in Australia. So if you know anything that's showing right now that is included in the package, not for an extra charge, and you think I should watch it, let me know. you horror girlies, true crime girlies, anything like that. I'm just like into that. Bye, besties. Love you. Bye.